They don't care about us, okay? There's no gridlock. They're not gridlocked on the fence. They vote for the fence. They vote for the war machine. Trillions of dollars. There's no gridlock at all on that shit. There's no gridlock on the tax breaks for the rich. There's no gridlock at all on this shit, okay? They give it away. They give away the farm all the time. They bail out the corporations and they let us starve. There's no gridlock. Both parties agree to it. That's why it happens. It happens because both parties agree to it. This shit is running like a well-oiled machine, man. So let's cut to the shit, man. Let's cut through it, man. The only gridlock you're seeing is that the people don't want what they want. But there's no gridlock because we don't have any power. And they had this fake power, which is called elections. And those elections give us bad choices. So if you have bad choices, if you don't really have a choice, if you really don't have a candidate that's really going to go in and fight for you, then you really don't have a choice. And you really don't have an election. Because your choices are so whack and so similar to one another at the end of the day about what they're going to actually get in there and do, you might as well stay at home and watch Netflix. So this idea that someone's not fighting hard enough or someone's not doing this or people are in love with parties, that's all stuff that people say and people repeat it. It's nonsense. No one loves parties. They just think there's no other hope. This is horrible system of one-party machine that we have, where one party talks a certain way to another, to one group of the country, one side of the country, playing to their fears and bigotries. And the other party uses those fears and bigotries played by the other party to twist the arm of the other half of the country. Either appearing to their, using virtual signaling to one half of the country, or using the fears and trepidations of the bigotry that they expand upon, that they elevate of the other side, giving us no choices at all. If you walk down the cereal aisle and all you see is cereal, you have no choice for breakfast because all your choices are cereal. It's not like we could go get fruit. It's not like we could go get some, pancakes. There's just cereal. And they say, choose anything you want. Here goes your shelves. Choose anything you want. And it's the same shit on the shelves. It's two rows. One cornflakes, other Tostios. Cornflakes, Tostios. And look, you got all these choices. And you're like, hold on, there's 1,000 boxes on row one of just cornflakes. Well, choose one. They're all cornflakes. Well, choose the other one. Well, they're Tostios. Look, man, I don't know how to put it any plainer. We are screwed, and the only way we're going to get unscrewed, and look, guys, I'm saying this at the risk of everything, and some people got to die, Johnson. Some people got to be willing to die, Johnson, like MLK. Like Malcolm X. Some people got to be willing to die. And nobody's willing to die. They'll talk tough on this YouTube. They'll talk tough on some other platform, but they're not willing to die. What they'll do is rile you up, say a bunch of half-truths just to play the game because we know what the game is. The game is to get people excited or get people angry. Get them so angry that they just open their checkbooks because they're looking for a solution. People just want you to say what they're thinking. And they just use that. And those corporations use it. And these political parties use it. And America's tapped into the pain of Americans. And it's not that people want to hate. It's that they got nothing else left. So on that race tip, bro, America uses race to extract wealth from the ignorant and the downtrodden. Remember that shit. It's used as a weapon. Races are being played too. What do they really get? Nothing. They get to feel superior to people they are inferior to. They get to feel as superior, but they don't get to live a better life. Not really. They get to feel superior while the people that are controlling it get to live the better life. away from them. Get what I'm saying? The trick to this whole thing is, while they're hating us for our black skin, as they were told to do, they get to feel superior. But the trick of it all is the people that really are benefiting from it are not even them. And they don't even like them. They hate them almost as much as they hate us. You get what I'm saying? You understand? They're sitting in their ivory tower looking at the poor whites going, stupid ass poor whites. I'm glad I'm not like them. But they know the only way this thing works if those poor whites hate those poor blacks. Because if those poor whites ever realize that those poor blacks, they have more in common with those poor blacks than those poor whites will not only storm the Capitol, they will storm those ivory towers. And that's what the hell America's really scared of. And this is the type of talk, not that other stuff people do. People do that other talk where they sit around. I hear them all the time. They sit around, they talk to black people about white supremacy. I know, fine, great. They're not in danger, Johnson. This is the type of talk that gets you shot. That type of talk gets them paid. Don't listen to the bullshit, man. That type of talk about, white supremacy and, we need to do this, what black people need to do. No, the type of talk that really puts you in jeopardy is ever talking about these white people and these black people ever getting together and storming the castle. And they won't talk that way because they know what I'm saying is true. So they tell you, so here goes the rest. Here's the rest, brother. Najee. They trick you into thinking that this type of talk is sellout talk. They do the same thing to you that the rich whites do to the poor whites. Yeah, they do the same thing. You're getting just as screwed. Because I already know who you listen to. I already know whose content you consume. You're getting just as screwed as the poor whites are getting screwed by the rich whites. You understand? Because you're buying into this line of talking. Neither one, the poor whites or the poor blacks who listen to that garbage, they're working against themselves and they're working against resolving this issue. And the people in the ivory towers stay paid. And I'm not the only one who figured it out. Other people have figured this out. You really think some of our rich people who are black haven't figured this shit out, Johnson? They figured it out a long time ago. You really think some rich white people who didn't grow up with money, who now have money, didn't figure it out along the way, how this thing works? They figured it out, Johnson. They just don't talk about it. One of the closest people that get to talking about it is like Dave Chappelle. People rarely talk about it. So, to summarize, and I'm not going to summarize it, we said it all, man. Do not believe it's a gridlock. Don't believe the government don't work. And yes, you're right, it's the rules. And yes, they're pretending like, oh my God. It's sort of like, when a guy who talks a tough fight, like he want to fight somebody, but he's a punk ass, he don't really want to fight. So he'll sell wolf tickets, and then act like he wants to get aggressive, knowing you're going to grab him and stop him. That's all we got going on here, man. That's it. This is a WWF, WWE cage match. And at the end of the day, we're all in the stands paying for it. And they go home in their private jets. They go home. They eat their caviar. They ship in their mail order brides, Trump. Huh? How much are they worth now? How much are the Obamas worth now? So this is the type of talk that gets you excommunicated, but it's real and you inspired me because you actually believe that there's gridlock. There ain't no gridlock, man. It's running like they want it to run, son. And the fact I know it's running that way is because you think it's gridlock, which means you think there's actually opposing forces working against one another. No, they agree, Johnson. They agree that they'd rather be rich than like us. They'd rather be comfortable than like us. They'd rather be wrong and paid than right and broke or right and dead. And that's the truth of the matter, man. That's it, Johnson. That's all. That is all of it. And to say it. And it's true. And I know I'm right because I'm shaking. I know I'm right. To my bones, man. In my soul, I know I'm right. Because I've done this show for many years, brother. And now I'm worried. That don't happen when you're just talking shit. That doesn't happen when you're just talking about the man.